At present, Paris Saint Germain have Mauricio Pochettino at the dugout. However, the Argentine tactician is currently under enormous pressure, with Nasser Al Khelaifi eager to end association with the former Tottenham manager. Pochettino is likely to get the sack, but that's unlikely to happen as long as the reigning French champs can't find a suitable replacement. But here's the thing, no manager in the world wants the PSG job. Okay, want is a big word. Most managers are apprehensive about taking the hot seat for a wide variety of reasons, which we will discuss in a bit. Apart from that, Christopher Nkunku has effectively ended rumours about his future by signing a contract extension that will keep him at RB Leipzig at least until 2026. You might have heard about it, but we will inform you regardless. Carlos Tevez has now become a manager, and his first job is at Rosario Central in his native Argentina. And the former striker is already plotting a big move, which could be the perfect launchpad for his nascent managerial career. So, we need to discuss all these things one by one, so get comfy and subscribe to our channel. You know you want to. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players, to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. Just appointed coach of Rosario Central, Carlos Tevez is already looking for players to improve his squad. During his presentation press conference, he mentioned his compatriot Angel Di Maria, who has been free since leaving PSG. If, for the moment, no contact has been established, the Apache does not hide his admiration and his desire to bring El Fideo back to the club where it all began for him. I haven't spoken to Di Maria. I barely have time to talk to my wife. I haven't spoken to him, but who wouldn't love to have him? Di Maria means a lot to this club. When the situation is calmer, I will call him and ask him what he wants to do. We know him. He would bring a lot to the squad. He would bring his experience to young players. In addition to experience, he has great technical quality. He played in the biggest clubs. It would be easy to be his coach. And if Tevez is able to convince his good friend, we're certain that Rosario will be enjoying quite an interesting campaign in Argentina and beyond. An unforgettable season. At 24, Christopher Nkunku had a particularly successful 21-22 financial year. Centerpiece within the Leipzig team, the Frenchman has evolved to an impressive level. He has scored 20 goals and provided 13 assists. Elected best player of the season in the Bundesliga, the former Paris Saint Germain man was rewarded for a great campaign. This was the season where he also made his France debut when he was summoned by Didier Deschamps. He made his debut on March 25th against Côte d'Ivoire. Nkunku has since been fielded several times by the national team coach, so he has a very good chance of participating in the World Cup in Qatar, if of course he continues his good momentum. Great with Les Bleus as well as for the club, the striker saw his ratings soar. Several teams were ready to welcome him this summer. Paris Saint Germain, where Kylian Mbappe dreamed of seeing him return, were in the running. Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Manchester United, or teams like Real Madrid and FC Barcelona have been cited as potential suitors. But in the end, Christopher Nkunku decided to play the stability card, as he extended his contract at Leipzig. Christopher Nkunku stays. RB Leipzig and the Bundesliga's best player for the 21-22 season have agreed to extend the contract, which ran until 2024, by 2 years, until 2026, said the club, which set his release clause at 60 million euros. Clearly, that's a massive signal of intent from the Bundesliga giants, who need players like Nkunku to stay on in order to perhaps end Bayern Munich's decade-long dominance of the league. Everything indicates that Christophe Galtier will be the coach of Paris Saint Germain when the championship resumes next August. After trying to convince Zinedine Zidane by all means, and having explored other avenues like the one leading to Ruben Amorim, the Parisian management fell back on Christophe Galtier, who should sign his contract this week. And it has been revealed exclusively on Foot Mercato that OGC Nice are asking for between 8 and 10 million to release their coach. Suffice it to say that the race for the coach will not have been easy for the Parisians, who've yet to announce the dismissal of Mauricio Pochettino, who will also walk out with a nice cheque. But above all, Marca revealed on Monday the reasons why the capital club had quite a troublesome time finding a new coach, after interviewing several candidates. The newspaper uses the term confusion in relation to an organisation and planning that is not always very clear. The roles are not always very well distributed or defined internally, and certain decisions are questioned by the coaches consulted by the Spanish publication, which thus carried out a detailed investigation. But more than a somewhat complicated management, it is the locker room that seems to worry the tacticians surveyed by PSG. The coaches believe that the lack of order and the power of the players in the locker room puts off more than one, since the coaches are convinced that it is impossible to impose their will or to be respected there. The media even explains that with the extension of Mbappe and the new powers which would have been granted to him, it is even worse. Even if this remains to be proven, since the player has denied having gained decision-making power, it is clear that the club had difficulty convincing a coach this summer, and that there is no doubt that the Spanish media is partly telling the truth. Galtier needs to be wary because, while PSG offer a lot of money to their coaching staff, the flip side to this is that these coaches have to deal with a lot of non-sporting issues. We can even give a perfect example about this. Take for instance, current Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel. The German tactician is a strict disciplinarian and is actually a very good coach. However, he also had to deal with a lot of things in the background. From dealing with player egos and a senior leadership that wants its expectations to be managed, the former Mainz and Borussia Dortmund manager was eventually given the sack. The same can be said about Pochettino, who clearly found it hard to deal with so many big-name players at the club. We believe that even if there was someone like Sir Alex Ferguson managing the club, the Scot would also have a tough time dealing with players, especially those who Al Khelaifi has pampered a lot over the years. Galtier is one of the best managers in Ligue 1, and we do wish him all the luck. However, the former Lille manager is definitely in for a rude awakening once his players report for pre-season.